And welcome once again. I am the database guy. Please like and subscribe as always. We're at video 4 of presentation 10, which is our intermediate coding. And here we're going to look at, this Docmd Object statement. And you see everything in yellow right here will be just that. Will be things we're going to look at: how to open forms, queries, reports, and so on, minimize and maximize. We're not going to touch the run command. That's an enormous one. Quit and save, we won't. Save saves everything. Well, essentially, you're going to save anything you're working on. It's not save record, which we have used before, but that's under run command, and I've shown you that briefly. I haven't really gone into it. You'll see that in the advanced course. Quit. I only use this when I program a button to quit the application, because as it stands, one weakness in Access is if I press this little X over here. Let me close this form. Here, I'll close out of my application. I don't want end users to do that. All right, so what I do is I will use the command, Docmd quit. I will ask them with the message box if they want to quit. Are they sure? Quit. But I'll change as a Boolean value from false to true to allow them to quit. That locks it up. You'll see that in the advanced programming coursework. So let's get to it right now in our database. So here, and I'm going to copy these because I got to be careful what I use. So I'm going to hit this open form here and comment that one out. So using it just this way, Docmd open form and the form name, will flash it and the form will open up, as you can see here. Now, there's more in here. Just if I right now start typing with a comma, you'll see I can select normal or print preview or just about anything I want, design view and so on. I never use pivot chart or pivot table. I don't really know what those are there for exactly. I've never used them. Layout, obvious layout view and so on. If I go normal view, then I could put a filter in. I could put a where condition to open to a certain record or a filter condition to filter to certain records and so on. But if I leave nothing there, I'll be in normal view. If I go to print preview, I can do that here and so on. Layout and design view and so on. Now, as you can see here, it's open to a regular normal view, all right? And so with the close function, I can close a form in very much the same way. But there's a trick to this. So let me, yeah, so when you go to command close, when you come out to here, it's going to ask you what you want to close. And you have a whole list of things here that goes from datasheet properties, database properties, all the way down to table data macro. Now, we're not going to use all of these, but you would pick form for form. Obviously, you would pick query for query, report for report, and of course, table for table. We're going to do form right now. And then you would hit a comma on that and specify the object name. It's a general class of, so we're going to do form again, DEMAIN, right? So we're going to then, I'm going to copy this. And there are reasons why I don't want to type certain letters in as I'm recording this. And if we hit this now, let me get this out of here. We don't want that statement there. You'll hear about that later. We're going to close it. When we come to it there, we're going to see it's gone. So you can open and close things. Same thing for a query. Now, a query, a little bit different, because if I select normal, which is the default, by the way, I only have one other option, which I can either add a record, edit a record, or read only. Read only may be beneficial for your users that you don't want them to touch anything. Now, here's the side thing about this, is that if I want to do read only, I need to then specify the view type, right? And here, so I've got I could do a report view, and what else? Is there a print as a SQL view, so I can see structured query language there if I wanted, and a print preview as well. So let's try SQL view here, and let's copy this. Got to be careful because I can't have a capital Q on this. It doesn't like it when I'm running things on my recorder. We hit it, and let's see what happens. So you can see I'm in my SQL view, right? Pretty neat, huh? We're going to close it for a minute here, come back to this, and we're going to just take this out of here and not leave anything. Again, the default's going to be normal. We go to it again, and there we have it. It's open as a normal view. I can close this with my close as well. So I'm going to just comment this one out and comment this one back in, and we're going to copy this and run that. And when we do that, it closes it, right? So as you can see, we can open and close things in various ways. Now, I'm going to comment this out too here for just a minute. Report is the same kind of way. For example, here in open report, I copy this. We hit that, it flashed it, and now we're in our print preview mode, right? If I didn't specify anything, you'd have to be very careful here, because if I didn't specify anything here, it would print a report. Because normal to a report is printing. If I want to view the report, I have to select View Report. That's a difference with reports other than forms and queries. Normal actually prints the report. So keep that in mind. We're going to just do it in a View Report mode. And if you remember, you see all those little white spots there because that's where our subform is. I'm going to close that. So that's cool. And table is kind of, and by the way, I could open a report with filters like I could a form and where conditions to a certain record if I wanted to. I could do all of that. Don't care to right now. Open table is a little bit different. It's very much like a query. So before I run that, you can see here, I could pick out the normal and then I have a data mode, right? Same thing as the query. So the query and the table are almost identical. And if I don't specify anything, I am going to open the report, a table rather, in its normal view, right? And I could do that in a read-only as well, so that I can't make any modifications to data if I want a user to see that. And so forms and reports are very much the same, and queries and tables are also very much the same. All right, so we've pretty much hit all of the opens. Now we're going to look at restore and maximize and minimize. So one of the things we're going to do here with our form, right? And so before I run this, all right, nothing's open. I just want to clarify that so you can see it. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to just have the, I copied the line there, just didn't name it a function, and run it from here. Now when I did that, you'll notice, it spread everything out. It maximized everything, okay? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is run this close function, close form, but just with the restore. I'm not going to close anything. All right. And we'll see what it did. And you see it brought it back to here. Now, if I go one step further, okay, I go to minimize, right, and I run this again. you'll see what happened. It minimized it. So I have to click it back into place. So you can have maximize, minimize, and restore. And there maybe needs to maximize a form to see it. Okay. So really is a quick one today because all of these methods you see here, and the set warnings, by the way, is for queries. You can set warnings equal to false or true. What we would do is we would set warnings equal to false. We would run the query and then set them back to true. It's kind of the way I do things because I don't want any warnings to be shown. I don't want the user to see, hey, you're going to add 12 records, so you sure you want to do this. You don't want any of that to your end user. And so that really is it. Now, close is a general method that can close anything, depending upon what's specified. The opens are specific to the opens. Now, could they have done open and then something? They probably could have, but there may be a reason why they didn't design it that way. They decided, okay, you know what? Because there are only certain objects we want to really open, we're not caring about these here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're not looking at stored procedures or modules or functions or diagrams or data access pages and so on. So, and you would requery one here, by the way. We wouldn't run it through here. We'd run it through the form or through the control to requery it or whatever object we wanted to requery. There's a lot of other ones here. We're not going to touch them. Some of them we're not even going to bother with them. Run macro. We're never going to use a macro. When you have VBA code, you don't need to worry about macros. It's just as the way it is. The other one we're going to see is one of them is transfer text, which happens with CSV files. Sorry about that. And transfer spreadsheet, which happens with Excel. We're going to see those later in our advanced, but I just want to say that those are really cool to work with, and yet they're advanced. So anyway, that does it for this session. Please like and subscribe as always. I am the Database Guy. Wherever you may be, have a great evening, morning, noon, night, whatever it might be. Just have a great life and take care.